Hello, listeners. I'm your host, Heather Riffet, and welcome to the premiere episode of Cancer Answers, a podcast series by the University of Hawaii Cancer Center. The focus of the series is to engage listeners in a constructive dialogue about cancer in Hawaii and the Pacific, while addressing key developments in cancer research and treatments. In today's conversation, I'm joined by Dr. Joe Ramos, who is the interim director of the University of Hawaii Cancer Center, who will talk at length about the center and his research expertise. Dr. Ramos, welcome to the show. Please talk to us more about your role at the UH Cancer Center.
So I've been at the Cancer Center for 18 years now, so quite some time. My research area is I try to understand the molecular mechanisms that drive cancer movement, and this is one of the things that is fatal to so many cancer patients is metastasis, cancer cells moving from one organ to another. So we're trying to understand that, and by understanding it at the molecular level, we're identifying new ways to target it. And so I came to the Cancer Center 18 years ago to work with our chemists here who were doing natural product work, to use natural products from our environment to target cancers. And so wanted to try and use the knowledge that I'd gained about the mechanisms and target that with new natural products and other approaches to create new therapeutics. So that's why I came here, and that's really what my research has been all about. I've moved into other roles over that time that include a lot of different hats that I've worn with regard to being a leader of programs and other administrative roles that I've had here. And currently, I'm the interim director of the Cancer Center.
And can you tell our listeners more about the University of Hawaii Cancer Center?
So the University of Hawaii Cancer Center is Hawaii's cancer center. We've been working to reduce the burden of cancer in the islands for over 50 years now. We celebrated our 50th anniversary last year. We are an NCI designated cancer center for the last 25 of those years. An NCI designation, this is by the National Cancer Institute, and that means that we meet the highest level of research specifically directed at the people of our islands. And so this is something that I think is very special about our cancer center. There are only 71 of these NCI designated cancer centers across the country, and we are designed to specifically meet the needs of our people. And so that's something I think is really special about us. Our cancer center has a few different components. We have some programs. That's the core of the research component of what we do. We have population sciences in the Pacific and cancer biology. We offer clinical trials through our clinical trials office. And we have an educational mission as well, and a community outreach and engagement mission. So these are really the core elements of what make our cancer center.
Dr. Ramos, talk to us about the ongoing research at the Cancer Center and how it helps Hawaii and the Pacific.
So as I mentioned, we have a couple of programs here that are focused on research. Our Population Sciences in the Pacific program is one of these. And really the first order of business for our cancer center is to ensure that as few people get cancer as possible. That means we need to know what causes cancer in the islands and then use that knowledge and get that back to our communities so that people can adjust and do better and avoid behaviors and agents in the environment that might put them at higher risk for cancer. And so that's really what our population science program is all about. We've had a lot of insights from that program on how nutrition contributes. That program is known worldwide for the multi-ethnic cohort that they run for the last 25 years plus. That's a group of over 200,000 people where they've been doing surveys regularly to understand some of the behaviors the people have, and then what their cancer incidence was. And that creates an invaluable resource for us to go back and look at if certain types of foods may have been related to a higher or lower incidence of cancer, et cetera. We can also look at the gene-environment interactions that way. Our cancer biology program tries to understand the basic mechanisms that cause cancer, drive cancer, and then use that to target cancers with new agents, new therapies, or to better diagnose them at an earlier stage when the cancers can be more readily cured or treated. And so cancer biologists really are trying to work on the discoveries of the diagnostics and therapeutics for tomorrow. We also have our clinical trials operation, which essentially they are our doctors. We work with our hospitals in our community, a network of clinical trials partners that we have across the islands. And these are the latest therapies, the latest treatments, the latest interventions to try and affect cancer. So these can be new treatments, new drugs that we can test out, or new combinations of drugs to help our patients do better. It's really the latest, most cutting-edge therapeutics that are available that we can bring into the islands. Some of these we create ourselves. Some are from industry trials. And this allows our patients to stay on island and have access to the very latest therapies in the comfort and environment of their homes. And so this is a really important element of what we're doing here.
And what is the future direction of the Cancer Center?
So as I was just mentioning, we have a very vibrant clinical trials team here. We have about 130 clinical trials at any given time that we do across our hospital network. The next phase of that would be an early phase clinical research center that we're establishing here at the Cancer Center. This we will have coming up in the next couple of years. And that will be a place where we can do the very earliest clinical trials, the earliest phase trials. These are the ones that are where we're doing the very first tests of new agents or new therapeutics in patients. This is something we've never had in Hawaii. This will be a game changer for our patients here, so that they no longer have to go when they have a cancer, say a pancreatic cancer or other stage 4 cancers, that they've exhausted other available therapies. Often early phase trials are our last resort. And this is something we really are looking forward to getting set up here at the Cancer Center. We're working with our hospital partners to do this, and we'll be doing that in the next couple of years. We also have a really active team that are in our community outreach and engagement core. The pandemic has seen a great loss in people going and getting their screening done for different types of cancer screens that we have. We need to make sure that people go back and get screened now so that we can catch cancers early again. And our community outreach team really tries to do this in ways that match up with the different kinds of communities that we have on the ground, and to do these in culturally attuned ways.
Interesting. Now, to conclude, if anyone would like to contribute to the Cancer Center, how can they do so?
So there are a lot of different ways people can contribute and do good work with the Cancer Center. We have a very broad and fantastic donor base. A number of our donors really see it as part of their mission to try and help in reducing cancer in the islands, and we're really happy to partner with all of our donors in that great work. There are a number of folks who volunteer for different activities that we have at the Cancer Center, so you should always look out for those possibilities. We usually announce them in the newspapers or on our website, which is www.uhcancercenter.org. Other ways you can participate is there are a number of different kinds of studies that we have ongoing, and so you can always look out to volunteer for a study. These don't always have to do with just for cancer patients. We have a number of studies that have to do with body composition, activity, those kinds of things as well, activities for cancer survivors. So you can also look out for different studies that you might participate in, and I highly encourage. I've taken part in several of them myself, and it's a really wonderful way to contribute to the mission of reducing the burden of cancer in the islands.
On that note, I will conclude today's episode. Thank you so much, Dr. Ramos, for joining me. That is all for now, listeners, but stay tuned on our official website, which is uhcancercenter.org. You can also follow us on our social media pages, including Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Our handle is UH Cancer Center. I'll see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.